A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members. Yes, we are building up to the first ODI between India and Australia at the Wankhede Stadium. So, let me just give you a slight weather update before I get to all the news. Yesterday, there was a bit of rain in Mumbai because of a depression that is there near the coast of Gujarat. But there is expected to be no rain interruptions today because the forecast is for cloudy weather throughout the day in Mumbai, but there are no chances of rain. That is the first major update that I would like to give you before we begin the India versus Australia first ODI. The weather in Mumbai has been slightly dodgy, and that is why yesterday there was rain. It was expected pre-monsoon showers were there because even in Pune and in the adjoining areas of Maharashtra there was very heavy rain. But today the rain is expected to stay away, and that is why the first ODI between India versus Australia at the Wankhede Stadium will not be impacted much by the depression that is there near the coast of Gujarat. So from the India versus Australia first ODI, let us move to one very heartwarming news. The champion will rise again. This was the words that Yuvraj Singh used when he met Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant, remember, he is beginning to slowly make his recovery, the arduous rehabilitation process that is happening. Because after the accident, he decided to take, it was a very long and arduous process that he had to recover. The first steps, the first basic things that he had to do. Then after that, the therapy and the treatment that he had by walking in the swimming pool. And now, basic things that Rishabh Pant is able to do now. Everybody is very happy with the progress that Pant is making. So Yuvraj Singh met him, and on the photograph that they captioned together, it was said that this champion will rise again. That is what Yuvraj Singh said. Yuvraj also hailed Rishabh Pant as a positive and funny guy, and the post has really garnered a lot of views, and it is very evident. Like, this is what he has said: on to baby steps. This champion is going to rise again. Was good catching up and having a laugh. What a guy. Positive and funny always. More power to you. Yuvraj, who better than India's ultimate match winner to pay tribute to yet another match winner. So that was how Indian cricket is like gearing up for. Let us hope that Rishabh Pant makes a quick recovery, because by all estimates, he is already facing a race against time to be fit for the ODI World Cup. He may not even be part of the ODI World Cup, but if he can make a quick recovery and be match fit, then it will be a big boost for Indian cricket. So that is the first major indication that we have got about Rishabh Pant. Yuvraj Singh has also met him. Then if you look at other cricketing sports that are there all over the globe, the West Indies versus South Africa first ODI was abandoned without even a toss because of persistent rain in Centurion. That was in Buffalo Park, East London, sorry. The second ODI, which will be held at the same venue, one hopes that the rain stays away. Very surprisingly though, the West Indies versus South Africa series is not part of the World ODI Super League. Beat that. Two teams that are in dire need of qualification for the ODI World Cup. This series is not part of the ODI Super League. What are the priorities of the ICC? What are they wanting to do by hosting these kind of bilateral series? It remains a mystery. But from Buffalo Park, let us head to Kiritpur, which is in Nepal. Yesterday, we saw the entire town of Kiritpur turn up at the Tribhuvan University, where UAE versus Nepal played out an epic clash. 310, that was what UAE had made, and it featured the fastest ever century by an associate player in Asif Khan. But that was also overshadowed by Nepal making a very good feast out of it. And at 289, Nepal had declared the winners by 9 runs by the Duckworth-Lewis method because of the rain that had come in. UAE had indulged in some time-wasting tactics also, and the crowd did not take that very lightly. You could see the panoramic view of the Kiritpur ground where the match was held. The whole town and possibly the adjoining areas had also come there. So that is why it was a big occasion, and Nepal created history, and they have qualified for the Cricket World Cup qualifiers that will be held in Zimbabwe in July. Now, either of South Africa, West Indies or Sri Lanka could be in that World Cup qualifiers, because Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, that is part of the ODI World Super League. This wasn't. The West Indies versus South Africa series. Strange things, but congratulations to Nepal cricket for achieving such a glorious moment. When we look at the Women's Premier League, today is an off day, and from 18th and 20th onwards, there will be double headers. But in the midst of all this, one South African legend has finally decided to call time officially. Dane van Niekerk has officially announced her retirement from all forms of cricket. And she captioned it with a heartbroken post. It's official. Dane van Niekerk, remember, her last few months was marked with tragedy because she just couldn't clear the 2 kilometer run in 8 minutes. She was just over by a second. And because of that, there were some media outlets that allegedly fact shamed her. And that Dane van Niekerk took offense to it. So that is why it is the end of an era when it comes to South African women's cricket. Dane van Niekerk, former South Africa captain, is now officially retired. So from cricket, let us move our attention to the All England badminton. And unfortunately, if you are an Indian badminton fan, you are in for some major disappointment, because yesterday was actually terrible Thursday when you look at all the events that happened. Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty were eliminated in a very tough encounter against the Chinese duo. More shocks would come as Lakshya Sen, the 2022 All England badminton finalist, he crashed out to Anders Antonsen of Denmark. Then the unfortunate incidents were complete when HS Pranoy lost to Ginting of Indonesia. The only individuals that are there in the All England badminton tournament at this point in time is Teresa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand. The women's doubles duo are still there in the All England badminton tournament, and yet again it sums up a disappointing tournament yet again. For 22 years, we had not won any kind of individual medals at the All England badminton tournament. Now it looks set to be prolonged unless Teresa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand achieve history. So that is the badminton scenario at this point in time. There is only one Indian representation, and that is Teresa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand in the women's doubles. From badminton, let us move to football. And in football, we saw a shocker with Arsenal, the Premier League toppers, crashing out of the Europa League. They lost to Sporting Lisbon, and that is why it was a very sad end for Arsenal. Because remember, they are dominating the Premier League, but when it comes to continental Europe, they are out of the reckoning. So that is a major blow for Arsenal. There were other football events also, Manchester United also winning. So it was an action-packed football week, but also yesterday, All England badminton, India were unfortunately at the receiving end of all the losses, except in the women's doubles. When you look at cricket, New Zealand versus Sri Lanka at the Basin Reserve has also begun. At the tea time interval, New Zealand had reached 109 for 1, with Devon Conway scoring yet another 50. Remember, this match could have been vital for the ICC World Test Championship cycle when you look at the final race, but since New Zealand beat Sri Lanka by 2 wickets at the Hagley Oval, this match is irrelevant. India and Australia have already qualified for the World Test Championship final on June 7th. That is why, unfortunately, this last test of the 2021-2023 cycle is redundant. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports. Remember, we are building up 1.5 hours more to go for the match to begin between India and Australia. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe also. And we are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to download the Sports Talk mobile app as well for all the content in Hindi and English. Thank you.